International exposure impacts a lot on any of your applications. So if you had in your past a cultural exchange program, or you went for studies to abroad, or you went for your master's to abroad, and you have that in your CV, and when you're trying to apply for your next master's or PhD or jobs, the culture that I've seen in Ireland is that it's very common that all the people I meet here, they have some sort of international experience. So as I've been like talking a lot about how does international experience changes you as a person and professionally. So like people here, they already know that if somebody has gone through um, the international travel experience for work or studies, they've already gone through a lot. So they know the ethics, they know the culture. So they just know that the half part of the training that they will need to do here, that's already done. So that being said, that when it impacts, I mean, when we are in our bachelor's and we know that for in future we really want to be applying for the master's and PhD, then that is our time. We can still be very much interested in applying for those positions. Now, I've seen students, for example, nowadays UGRADE is coming up, and there are students debating about the pros and cons of like choosing to go to UGRADE, because UGRADE essentially doesn't align with many universities' calendar now, and now two of your semesters are disturbed. So this is very much common if you choose to do anything international. That's not just the story of UGRADE. So that the debate is like, should we go? Should we ruin our GPA? Because something is must that if you go on international, well, it's not must, but it can impact your CGPA in Pakistan. But honestly speaking, you're much better off on paper and in reality, personally and professionally, if you choose to go for an exchange program. And I personally think that this is something like a cycle. So if you went on one, and now for the next application you put, okay, for example, as my story, the UGRADE was my first experience. I put that well, UGRADE was first, and that like nothing. I didn't have any international exposure before that. But in next time, whenever I applied, I always put I am a UGRADE alumna, and I've been to US when I was 21. So that is something. I mean, people like when reading my application that okay, a girl from Pakistan, a Muslim Pakistani girl, traveled internationally to US when she was 21. So she already has exposure. She has been through that. So I think that was the chain. And then like today, when I write my CV that I've been to this countries and that, so that of course impacts greatly on my application. So one guide to all the potential PhDs and masters applicants is that while if you have any time, and so that's not just for the studies, that also applies for cultural exchange programs, the short conferences or workshops. If you can potentially travel abroad, with and without funding, just go for it.